It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bills and the Boys, coming up next.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Bills in this matchup. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, and not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
They met in back-to-back Super Bowls in the 90s, and they're together again. The Cowboys and Bills are underway. Returning it, Isaiah McKenzie. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both, and at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Allen now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
There you go. There you go.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To the air, Allen. And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And the Cowboys here on third down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Allen going to throw. Dancing to his left. First down and more for Allen. And Allen will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Allen. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Here's Allen. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. CeeDee Lamb deep for the Cowboys. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 27, Prescott. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? First a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Prescott now from the 50. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can...
Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
A first down carry by Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Here's Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here come the Bills out for their second drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. Elliott a 1st down and more. And down to the 16-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Blake Jarwin there to make the grab. And the Cowboys are off to a 13-0 first-quarter lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8-ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
An extra point by Nagar is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, it's McKenzie. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Now Allen. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills with a football as we start quarter number 2. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one quickly to Lamb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A give to Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From midfield now on 2nd down. Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 33. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3, this is where the ball goes anymore. I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
62 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
A first down throw for Prescott. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Jordan Phillips gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
But that's what they have to do more defensively, not just getting sacks. We have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
10th carry now for Elliott. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Prescott now. Washington's got it. And out of bounds right around the 20. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I'll give him credit there. Nice job on the drag route. Bring the receiver across the field, hoping he can catch it in stride and turn it up. He was able to do just that, although he's just a little bit short of the 1st down.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash, this from 37.
Nagar's kick is good.
And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. McKenzie returning it.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Let's go.
Buffalo set to get the football back here.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Allen.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Allen to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
To throw, it's Allen, and that is incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
They're trying for Washington, but the pass intercepted.
Tre'Davious White with a pick.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And now out come the Bills. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run on first down with Singletary, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Right back to Singletary on second down.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Bills on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Allen. Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
What a run there from Josh Allen.
And the Bills get a bit closer.
Well, that was something to behold there. You might expect runs like that from a kick returner or wide receiver, but that's your quarterback hitting top speed.
And normally when you see guys moving this fast, it might be a fly pattern from a receiver or a toss sweep from a tailback or something like that. This was designed as a passing play, and then he got out of the pocket, and he just took off, and he just kept gaining momentum with every step.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This is Tony Pollard. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go.
Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
You see me out here? That's right. We can't be stopped.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Flushed out right.
First down and more for Allen. And Allen will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Singletary.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first-down gains.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited by what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. On play action, Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Buying time, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills have cut it to within a score.
CD, for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Now Pollard. And he returns this to the 22.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They start on the ground with Elliott. Good footwork at the 30. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
92 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. This is Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. Throwing now is Allen. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have 1st half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth 1st half that we've seen. Forced out to his left.
And Allen will have the 1st down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end.
Not only another 1st down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Come on, let's go!
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, They've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Allen.
He'll get this out wide to Singletary.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Here's Allen. Working the middle here. That's complete to Knox, the tight end. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20.
Can't do that, man.
Instead of 4th down, they'll be able to start over now in the red zone.
And field position still has huge value in the NFL. As you said, in the red zone, that really hurts them.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Allen going to throw. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. The kick by Bass is good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Now Pollard. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Get it! Get it!
And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with.
No! Let's go! Let's go! Fuck up, son! Come on now!
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Shut him down! Shut him down! Let's do this!
2nd and 8 coming up.
Mike 58 right there. Watch the slant. 58.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. This time they stay on the ground, and they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Isaiah McKenzie is back deep for the Bills. Taken in at the 22. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. A final shot before half for Allen. Going deep for Diggs. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. So nothing separating these two teams as we head to the break all square. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Bills. And there's not much to speak of in terms of passing efficiency, but in a tie game, they know a few tweaks could make a big difference going forward. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we get a look at their numbers on the ground in that first half, as they'll be looking to rev things up here in a tie ball game.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Now Pollard. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That is incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull together. 49.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
On 1st and 10, Prescott.
Now he steps away. Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
First down, Prescott. Open man is Noah Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Now they executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 26.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll run on first down. Elliott. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 22, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 117 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Elliott diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Nagar now for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return, it's McKenzie. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons, his second sack of the night.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Allen. Steps away to his left. And Allen will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Allen now looks to throw. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play here for Buffalo.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. To the air, Allen. He'll find Diggs once more on the completion. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Looking to throw again on second down. Allen, throw left side, complete. That's McKenzie. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And again, it's Allen. He completes it to the tight end, Knox. And the Bills are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now Allen. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. They'll look to run with Singletary. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Singletary again, and not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Now Allen off the bootleg. Escaping the pressure. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game.
The defense was almost too good on that play. They took away all of his targets. The one thing they forgot, to account for him as a runner, and he's able to tuck it and go for the end zone and get it done.
Bass on for the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter. A 10-play drive that time. And it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's Elliott, complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Flush to his right, and he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go.
The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Singletary to get the drive started. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
2nd and 8.
Allen. Going deep for Diggs. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
He'll get this out wide to Singletary.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 47. Prescott now. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Prescott from the gun. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Run for Pollard. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Second and 7. Now Prescott. Incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game, and let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A give to Elliott. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Here's Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a fourth and goal. Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Fight the temptation, kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
Nagar's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. McKenzie returning it. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing to start the drive. Allen being chased out left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
From the 27, Allen working the middle here. That's complete to Knox, the tight end. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary, and he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 41, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They will run with Singletary. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Second and 5 now. Allen throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on 3rd down. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Here's Allen to throw it. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Zach Moss punching it in from a yard away. And the Bills have retaken the lead.
That's what I'm talking about.
So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Now Pollard. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? And rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll start the drive with Elliott, and he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Prescott now, option right, pushes past him, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Prescott off play action. That is caught by Lamb. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Prescott on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 45. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Singletary. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Keep playing hard.
The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they will take a knee here.
2nd and 11 now. Now Allen going to give it to Moss. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know, this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on.